John Hall!
Thank you very much. Well, this may well have been the best question ever recently asked in Parliament.
I wonder if the Deputy Speaker is aware that there is a rusting Russian hulk full of cannibal rats drifting towards the UK.
Best question ever. And he asked it because the tabloids had stirred up the James Herbert-esque horror of the Lyubov Orlova, which isn't, as you might think, a price-comparing meerkat, but is, in fact, the name of an empty Russian cruise liner that accidentally came adrift during a storm in 2010, but is now, according to what was obviously a slow news day, a haunted and lost Russian death ghost ship, crewed only by thousands of cannibal rats. And it was heading towards the UK to dump its cargo of rodentophagic quadrupeds on our shores.
Cannibal rats coming to Britain!
Screeched the Sun.
Cannibal rats arriving in our shores!
Panicked the Mirror.
Cannibal rats coming over here taking our jobs and benefits.
Probably moaned the Mail. Meanwhile, unlike the ship, the Express didn't veer anywhere off its usual course.
Cannibal rats killed Diana!
The Sun probably put the most work in here, right? Telling the full story of the old liner set adrift by accident in the deepest part of the ocean and left to the mercy of hungry rats. Rats the Sun somehow knew to be so starving and so ratty that this was no longer just an old boat with some furry vermin on it, but now it was a killer ghost ship of disease-ridden, venomous, man-eating vampire plague monsters. Yet they hadn't thought it through. One sub-headline,
Heading for Britain, ship of ghouls packed with cannibal rats,
was completely undermined by the next one,
their only source of food is each other.
thereby eliminating the threat to us. Even if it's all true, when HMS Rat Apocalypse finally docks, right, it's going to be empty, or there'll be one great big massive rat so full of rats that it won't be able to disembark. Much like an American on a cruise. Now, you'll be familiar, I'm sure, with the time-honoured technique of local papers to tie any national story to their own locality, no matter how tenuously. Right, well, Britain is nothing if not a nation of coastline, so the plucky men and women of our regional press weren't going to look a gift rat in the mouth.
Ghost ship of cannibal rats to crash into Devon!
Cried the Exeter Daily.
Cannibal rats headed for Scotland!
Squealed the Scottish Daily Record.
Ghost ship killer murder monster rats headed for Cornwall!
Feared the Falmouth Packet. That's a real newspaper, by the way. I may have paraphrased the headline. Yet the South Wales Post was a little more measured in its editorial.
Some of you may be waiting to see if the ghost cruise ship full of cannibal rats hits the South Wales coast. It won't.
Basically, if you had a coastline, you were fair game. Although, to be fair, at the moment, that's everywhere.
Cannibal rat L ship could wash up on Somerset Farm!
I blame the gays.
Thanks, ex-UKIP man. Devon's local angle on the big rat Armageddon, Ratmageddon, even led to letters, angry letters, mind, to the local paper in Torquay.
Cannibal rats, which I've never heard of, really makes me wonder if this is simply another way for Torquay to keep tourists away and cause yet more closures of local small businesses. It's anti-business.
Yeah, never mind the 50p tax hike. That's Labour's next move. Send the rats in. Not everyone was as pessimistic.
I think this story is unduly negative. Look on the bright side. Just think of the job opportunities for unemployed badger marksmen.
The opportunities are endless.
Come on, rat fans! Come on, Kev! Let's eat each other, yeah!
And yes, I know Kevin was a gerbil. Don't write in. Except, of course, there's actually no evidence whatsoever that there are any rats in this so-called story at all, let alone ghostly cannibal ones. It does seem that there was, at one point, genuinely a ship. But that's no good, because without the addition of the made-up bits, you just get a headline that reads...
Ship.
Which is rubbish. Thank you very much.